Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this one I wanted to quickly show you how to go to the right subscription if you have multiple ones under one username using your command prompt. Okay, so what I'll show you first, if I just do AZ login, and if you have multiple windows, especially if you have multi-factor enabled, just AZ login does not work. And let's see what happens. So over here what it's telling you, I did AZ login but it could not find any subscription. What is telling us, hey buddy, if you want to do that, you have to run, if you have MFA enabled, you gotta use the AZ login dash then the tenant ID. So you have to know the tenant ID. So I think I have copied my tenant ID. Yeah, I did. So that is what is your tenant ID. It's also telling you right there, hey, do using and providing the tenant ID pass to this particular command. So let's just type out our command. So we'll still do the AZ login, but this time what I'll do, I'm gonna pass the tenant and pass the tenant ID just like that. So now what it will do, it will ask me for multi-factor authentication. So this is saying unrecognized argument AZ login dash dash. Okay, so you gotta use dash dash. So come back, fix your code and hit enter. Now if you come over here, if you do this, now it's asking, hey, go through your multi-factor. So I'm saying okay, just send it to my phone. So now it should send me a code. So let's put the code in and then verify my account. Now if I go back to our shell, which will automatically happen in 10 seconds if I don't do anything here, let's just go back. Now you see that it's got our subscription. So what's it's telling, here's the cloud name, this is the Azure cloud, and it looks like there's one subscription, the state is disable, right? There is another subscription name IT prod, this is enabled, and I have another one yet which is IT dev, that is also enabled. So I have two subscriptions that are enabled and one that is disabled. So the next thing that we want to do, we want to get into one of the active subscriptions. So how do I do that? So what we can do, we can also run another command first. So I just easy account show. Okay, so this one also should give you, okay, let me just correct, OUNT, so correct. So this is also giving me the environment name, then home tenant ID is default. Which one is the default? Is telling me, hey, this particular tenant is actually the default, which is the IT prod. So if you want to change your subscription and go to another one, so this is showing the account show which subscription you have logged into. So let's try another command, is a account list, and then let's pass a query, and we're gonna use some nice little trick. We're gonna get the name as name, and then we want to get the subscription ID as the ID, and then let's close it and close, and then let's hit enter. So this is another good and quick way to figure out, okay, your subscriptions that are active. Okay, so here you had a lot of mess, you had a lot more stuff in here, it was a little bit difficult to get to your subscriptions. And here this one is telling me, hey, this is a really clean, this is the name, that's the subscription ID, and that's the command that is going to give you that. Okay, so if you look at it, Home tenant ID was this. Under that, the tenant ID was BE7 ending with. That's where we were in. So that's all good. So that's the tenant ID. Under the tenant, I have two subscription with two different subscription ID. So now I want to use one of these subscriptions for my work, and to do that you have to set the subscription that you want to work with. So I'm gonna do this now. So Azure account and then set. Now I'm gonna say subscription equals to, and then I'm gonna provide the subscription ID. So let's just work with the prod. So let's see if I can copy this, and I'm gonna provide and pass the ID for our prod subscriptions and hit enter. So now what happened, this doesn't really display the result of switching the specified Azure subscription, but if you do the Azure account show, it should tell you the right subscription. So it's still telling you this ID prod because that's what we just set it to. If we want to switch from IT prod to the IP dev, so we would copy this one instead, copy, and we're gonna run the other command that we ran a little bit ago, get rid of that subscription ID and paste this particular command, and then what we'll do, hit enter, and now if you run the Azure account show, what you will see that your default subscription has changed and now you're using the IT dev subscription for your work. So now you can create your resource group and everything else, and you don't have to worry about, they're all gonna be part of this particular subscription. So that's all I wanted to cover in this particular video tutorial. So just remember, if you have multiple subscription, if you have MFA enabled, you gotta pass the tenant ID along with your Azure login. Once you do that, it's kind of gonna give you your subscriptions. But if you want to look at the subscription in a neat way, run this particular command, and then once you have the subscription ID, you take it and just run this Azure account set dash the subscription, provide your subscription ID, and you are good to go. If you enjoyed the video, learned something, please give me a thumbs up. If you feel like there's another way to explain this better, please leave a comment. Otherwise, happy learning Azure. Thank you very much for watching.